because it's a strong pillar, as I just mentioned. And the proof of this, like the conferences, the youth conferences and the youth forums, and this initiative, great initiative by the president, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, when he just started this initiative of Ask the President. It was another way of communication between the people and the state as well. And we've never listened to this term before, like empowerment youth or empowerment women. But when the president has come to the power in 2014, and everything is changed. We just now, and because the youth is at the top of his priorities, and building youth, communicating with them, using their power, using their strength, can really be add great value to the country itself.
And to what extent youth forums is an important mean of communicating with Egyptian youths? Also, we have the World Youth Forum in which Egyptian youths can communicate and meet other young people from different countries.
Yes.
So how do you see this?
Communication is an essential part in society, as I just mentioned. That's why we need to communicate more and more with each other, and in an effective way. Because, you know, the communication process is just like two parts, divided to two parts, the speaker and the receiver. The speaker has to deliver concise message, clear message, and the receiver should receive the message literally, just like a very clear one, should understand it to the fullest, to the core. And in some ways, on some channels of communication like this forum, it was a great chance to communicate effectively in the very right way with youth. Need or know about their strengths, know about their weaknesses, about their strengths points, know about their needs. Why do they need to be developed or to be improved? What are the skills they need to build them from scratch, build them from inside first? And this kinds of forum was really great, were really great chance to give them the hope that the state is behind you, will support you, will give you all the means, will communicate with you, and just will meet all your needs.
Yes. Also, one of the means of increasing the youth's participation in the society and making them part of decision making, enhancing their skills, is the PLP program, Presidential Leadership Program, which is also an important way of improving skills and improving leadership skills in Egyptian youths.
Yes, you're right.
How do you see this program?
Yes, it was another way of communication between people, between the state and between the youth. Because now, the president in every meeting, in every speech, he just stressed the needs that we need some or considerable number of youth to be participated in the politics process. So we need to build them from scratch, like build their needs, build their skills, build their strong and tough mindset, build them. So these kind of initiatives, these kinds of forums, these kinds of trainings like PLP and the launching of the National Training Academy as well.
Yes.
And yes, more initiatives about this. Yes, this give the huge opportunities to youth to participate and to be part of the maybe decision makers in the state itself, and in the same exact time they can now express their needs, express their truth, express themselves in a very better way, or in a better way. You know, we need to train youth on to be better communicator, to be better influencers, and to have this power of persuasion, to have this impact on themselves, impact on others, impact maybe on the whole world.
And how internet can hinder effective communication?
Everything has its pros and cons.
Yes.
Yeah. When I talk in terms of communication, is divided maybe into three elements, like it's verbal and non-verbal and written communication. And maybe in the internet, on the world of the internet, maybe written communication is the most like popular way of communication. Yes. And the point is, everyone is just writing something or trying to communicate through the internet from his own perspective. And this is not right, or half right, half wrong, because it's not about us. It's not about our perceptions or our perspectives or about our beliefs. It's about others as well. I understand, totally understand my message. But now how to deliver it is the most important part. And we call it like communication process. And in this process, I need to deliver my message in totally perfect way. To just, to make the receiver receive it and totally understand it. One of our basic needs is that we need to be loved and be loved. And we need to appreciate and be appreciated. And we need to understand people and be understood as well. And most of people are always complaining about people don't understand us, people are tough with us, and we are always misunderstood. And that's true, by the way, but it's not because the people, it's because of us. We are responsible for our messages. So when you just try to interact through the internet, especially and specifically because it's written, it's just like about some words. Pay attention to these kinds of words. Try to place or state some powerful words, and try to pay attention to the kinds of people around you. Tony Robbins once said, and I quote, that we are all like different. And every one of us has his own perspective, has his own background, has his own perception towards the world. But we can use this understanding to guide us to build better relationship with people. So once you try to know the kinds of people in front of you, the characteristics of them, their traits maybe, or pay attention to your message, this gonna be effective communication. And here's just a simple rule. Try to write the right message to the right person in the right time, in the right context. This is called effective communication. Because now I can tell you a very perfect message, I totally understand it, and you are the one, but the context is different. Or maybe the timing is bad. So this will hinder the whole communication process. So we need to pay more attention to these small details that will add value to our communication, and we will deliver and convey and express ourselves in a very great way, and the receivers will receive the message in a very great way as well.
So is there any ways of or methodologies to build powerful communication?
Knowing yourself better. It's all about yourself. Okay, if we just, as I mentioned, that communication is divided to the speaker and receiver. Okay, now I'm just blaming the receivers, always blaming the receivers for not getting me right. What about me? Do I get myself right? Do I understand my thoughts? How I just present myself, how I present my thoughts and behaviors and actions. Self-awareness is the key point here. How to be fully aware about yourself, about the words. Maybe there are some ways that may hinder your communication even if you totally understand yourself, like the filler words. You know the filler words, like all these concerning the speaking skills can hinder your message as well, or hinder your communication as well. So you need to pay attention to this. Read books, take some courses, but the most important thing, to improve your speaking skills, improving the words you utter, every word, it really counts. So try to think first, is this right now? Is this the right timing? Is this the right person? Is this the right context? Then speak wherever you want. Because talking is not a communication. It's just like words. But if you really want to improve your communication skills, you need to think logically. Like, think in mind first. Make it like in logical order. 1, 2, 3, 4, because we follow logical order, logical sequence as it is.
So in some cases, there are some blocks or obstacles that can slow down or ruin communication between people. So how do you see this?
In terms of the person himself, or the speaker, maybe some emotional blind spots. Yeah, it can hinder, or it can be big obstacles. Because emotional blind spots means that things I don't know about myself, but people know quite well that these things are in me, but I'm not aware of it. So this is a big obstacle. That's why, number one, when you're trying to develop yourself in communication, in any other skill, self-aware. I need to know more about myself, like entering self-discovery process. Ask some people, what do you think of me? Not to ask for validation or not to ask for their approval on you, I just need some feedback. See, feedback can guide me in my process of self-development. I need to know about me more from the eyes of the others. Because of these blind spots, it's like unknown things for me. So this one thing. Another thing is talk some science about NLP. Like there are something like DDJ. It's a deletion, distortion, and generalization. It's an NLP technique. And in this technique, people tend, when they communicate with others, they just assume, like put some assumption that you totally understand me. So I will delete some important information from my message, assuming that you understand me. But in the real life, in the reality, you have no clue about this. So I will defend my point of view and no, you know quite well what I'm talking about. So argument will be raised and debates and all these things. So deletion is a big obstacle because I just delete some more information, important information from my talking, from my message to you. There is another thing which is the distortion. Distortion here, like I may talk or speak in a very vague way, or assuming something in the same thing. So this will distort as well the receiver. He won't understand me. And the generalization, like all the men are blah, 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 all the women are blah, 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 all the cats are blah, 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 you know. This generalization also can hinder the communication because you need to be specific in every word you utter. You need to be specific in everything you say. And you need to make this balance between your body language and your words as well. You can ask me, how are you? And I say, yes, I'm great. Thank you, I'm fine.
Your facial expressions.
Okay.
Yes.
You know you are not fine, by the way. Not you are not fine. It's very obvious from your facial expression. So you need to make this balance. You need some feedback from other people. You need to work on yourself, like recording some videos for yourself, watching yourself from a distance and know exactly what about your weakness points. Because all these obstacles and all these blocks can hinder the power of communication.
So, Rania, how youth can cultivate their communication skills in different walks of life?
Number one, try to develop the skill of listening. We all have this challenge. We don't listen, we just hear. And there's a big difference between hearing and listening. Hearing, just hearing some voices, but listening, I'm focused, I'm paying attention for every little thing you say. Whether of your words, your looks, your body language, I'm just observing you in this listening. So once you start to develop your listening skills, it just can do magic to you. Because number one, you will be focused on your message to deliver it very concise, precise. And number two, you will know that kind of person in front of you. We are all different. Yes, we are all humans, we're sharing something, but we are all different in traits. So, for example, there are some kinds of people called the trees and forest. Some people really care about the big picture, and some other people care about details. So if I'm just now know that you are of the first type, I will talk to you with an overview. I always talk to you with the big picture. Now we have something in common. Now we are building rapport and trust with each other. But if the opposite is happening or happened, like someone needs to know more details, and now I'm communicating with you and with just like overview or big picture. Now we are not on the same page, so we are not gonna to understand really well. So listening, yes, listening skills is number one. Number two, emotional awareness. Build more emotional awareness, know more about yourself, your strengths, your weakness, work more on your weakness, and also build self-confidence, because self-confidence is great. It will help you to do wonders. You know, you will do magic with just...
Yes, maybe you have someone who is excellent at work, but he doesn't have self-confidence, while another one is not so good in what he's doing, but still he can express himself in a better way. He has self-confidence. So I think that all youths should work or improving their skills, whether self-confidence, whether whether acquiring more skills in life. And also we'd like to focus on emotional intelligence and to what extent it is a demanding skill now for employees and youths.
Yes, emotional intelligence. It's the basics right now, because everyone needs to be emotionally intelligent, especially in this hectic world, right? And number one, or according to Daniel Goleman in his traits and in his input on emotional intelligence, number one is self-awareness, as I just mentioned. Yes, because most of people trying to communicate better, so they strive to work with or building relationship with people. So you need just now first thing is first, step number one, just work with yourself, like self-awareness.
Yes.
And then know more about your personal traits, your character, your characteristics, like your personality, and do these assessments to know more about yourself.
Yes.
And of course, self-confidence. And then you will go through self-regulation, how to control your emotions, how to control your thoughts, just like shifting focus, way of thinking from the negative to the positive, how to see opportunities rather than just the problems, how to see solutions rather than the problems. It's a crucial thing. And we can just do all these things by practice. Once you make the decision that I want to change my life, I want to go to the next level with my skills, you will start with communication, and you will start by exercising to know more about yourself, to try to pay attention to every little word you just utter from your mouth, try to make it powerful, try to make it in the right timing, to the right person, in the right context. And then after you're just working on yourself, you will working on people. You need more to know about people, about their characteristics, about their types. You can about their body language, about their emotional state, because emotional state and all these things, you can observe it from a distance once you know all about it. And once you know the type of the person or the receiver in front of you, you will just pick up the right way of communicating with him. And this is how you will build rapport and strengthen your relationship with people and building great network.
So having a university degree is not the end of the road. Now they have to work on developing many skills to meet the demands of the market.
Yes.
And this is very important, like public speaking, as we talked about it before. But let's remind our audience of the importance of developing the skill of public speaking, to what extent it is crucial nowadays.
Public speaking is a way of communication. It's all about communication, how to present yourself, present your appearance, present your character, present your charisma, present your even speech. Because some people just concerned that public speaking is about overcoming the fear of the crowds and just standing confidently in front of the crowd. Yes, it's a huge part of it, it's like that. But what about the speech? The power of persuasion, how you make this impact on people, how you just influence people, how you motivate them, how you force them, convince them to do whatever you want. It's essential part of public speaking, because the speech here, it's about the words you utter, the speech or presentation. Now, what kind of a speech I need to address these kinds of people or audience in front of me, whether it's a motivation or what's it like a selling. I want to sell something. I want to motivate them. I want to make them do something just for me. So the speech and the organization of a speech also, it's a great essential part in public speaking. Aristotle, from 2,300 years, in his book on rhetoric, said that there are 3 pillars of persuasion. If you want to be great speaker, great narrator, great persuader, you need to work on these 3 patterns or 3 pillars. They are called ethos, pathos, logos. Ethos comes with credibility, that you need also in your speech. All these 3 elements have to be in your speech to just have this impact on people as well. So number 1 is credibility. How you just put your credibility from your confidence, your charisma, maybe your credentials as well, your your certificate, whatever your credibility. Build the credibility to make this initial rapport with the receiver or with the audience in front of you. Then the emotional appeal. because we are emotional creatures, is that you need to put some emotions, some powerful words, some motivation, maybe some stories. Like storytelling, the power of storytelling is powerful tool. So after emotion, so now like building credibility, building your emotional appeal. After this, the logic appeal. It's ethos, pathos, logos. Logos comes from logic. That you need to put in your speak some logic to address all kinds of people. The people who care more about emotion, the people who care more about logic, the people who care more about the credentials and the credibility.
So there is a difference between public speaking and presentation skills, or they are almost the same?
It's presentation skills, it's in public speaking, because
It's
presentation
part
skills...
of public speaking. Part of it.
Yes, it's part of it. Because presentation skills, it comes more with the work life,
Yes.
and it can be just with one person or two or whatever
Yes.
the meeting in front of you. But it is still, you present yourself, you present your thoughts, you present your credentials, you present your words as well. It's all in public speaking. So public speaking, it's not just about standing in front of the audience confidently with charisma. It's more about how to communicate well, very well with the audience in front of you, like making this impact, influence them and persuade them.
So finally, I'd like to thank you, Mrs. Rania Leila, personal development expert, emotional intelligence, NLP practitioner, coach, and training manager. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much, my pleasure.
And by the ID viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Thank you for watching.